The Writer's Block.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Writer's Block. Today we are talking about self-confidence and how it affects your writing. A lot of times we don't realize how much our negative outlooks affect our writing. Being confident in your writing and your ability will come out through your work. The reader will feel that you're confident. The reader will feel that you know what you're talking about. Always use your audience to help you build your confidence. Post something for people to see. One of the main things that I have is my Instagram, where it has all my poetry. The more feedback that I get, the better I become. Also, you'll gain confidence as you go forward, because after you finish the editing process, after you read your work over and over again, you'll be confident in what you wrote. It'll be more clear, the sentence will make more sense, there'll be more structure. In the beginning, when it has rough edges, you're not going to be so confident in the work that you're looking at. You're going to know that it's an unfinished piece of work, it's a rough draft. You're not really seeing the output you want to. Once you clean things up, edit things, you'll start to see a cleaner piece of work. It's always important to have a few people read your work and tell you what needs to be brushed up on, because if they don't tell you that and you release your work, it's worse to find out after the fact that you could have fixed a few things. That'll knock your confidence down when you release your work and someone points out your mistake, or the reader is not really grasping what you're trying to say. Building confidence is a hard task. It's not something that happens overnight. You can't just blink your eyes and now you have the most confidence in your work. That takes time. And what better way to be confident in your work than reading it and knowing where your mistakes are before it gets into someone else's hands. And then when it gets into someone else's hands, like your beta readers, you found out the mistakes that you can point out, and then they will find out mistakes that they see that you may have overlooked because it's your own work. It's hard to look at your own work and find mistakes sometimes. Sometimes you have to have someone else do that for you. If you're like me and you're writing a book or you're writing a dissertation or something like that, you're going to need an editor. You're going to need one. There's no doubt about it. You're going to miss stuff. Your beta readers are going to miss stuff. Your editor still might miss stuff, but at least that's a third eye, and it's a professional eye at that. They're looking at it differently. They don't have a bias because they're not one of your friends. They're not yourself. They're not your parents. So they're looking at it from an outside perspective. They don't know you. They're just editing your work. When I'm writing something and I get stumped, especially a book or a short story, write down what your storyline's going to be. So you're not going to write exactly word for word how your storyline's going to be, but you're kind of going to gear the story a little bit, and by gearing the story, you know where you're going, and there's not going to be inconsistencies, or there's going to be less inconsistencies because you already navigated through what you want the story to be like. Now when you're writing, you just got to flow with whatever that is. Make sure your story stays in line. The other day I had to delete a whole 3 pages of my book because I didn't realize that something in the beginning of the book wasn't correlating with something in the middle of the book. So what I had to do is I had to basically delete 2 pages of work and restructure it so that I could fit the beginning. And had I not read my book 9 times at this point, probably more than 9 times, had my editor look at it, had beta readers, I wouldn't have caught it. The funny thing is, my beta readers didn't even catch the inconsistency. I caught it. And this was after my 4th edit. If I had released that work and no one caught that, I would lose my own confidence. And by reading my stuff, making sure that I have an outline of what I'm looking at, I was able to catch something that otherwise probably would have just been published and someone else would have caught it. And they would have called me out on it. And it would have been embarrassing because it's not like you can unpublish your book and then republish it. I mean, you probably could, but that's going to cost you a lot of money. So definitely understanding where you want to be and where you are now are important. Writing is just like a business. So create a business plan. Say where you want to be, say how you have to get there, and start working towards it. A business plan gives you kind of a general premise of what you want to happen and what your business structure will be like, and that's the same thing for writing. Make headway by learning who you are, learning what you want to write, learning where you want to be, and pushing for that. I had a flower in the last video. I have a candle in this video. I changed my background twice. When I first started my videos, I didn't even have a background. That's another way. That's a good segue I got right there. Build your confidence. Continue to change your elements. Change your elements. Because when you change your elements and you're in different places or you do different things, you'll see what you like. You're going to go through things in life and you just didn't know that you liked it. Or you sat with it, disliked it the whole time, and complained the whole time. Be confident in yourself so you can produce the best work that you can produce. And that's all there is to it. It's as simple as that. All you need to know is a writer that is not confident is not going to produce their best work. The best thing in life is experience, and experience builds confidence. You're outside experiencing what outside looks like. You're working in healthcare, experiencing what it's like to work in healthcare. So now you can write about it. Now you can be more confident about it. If you want to build a house and you don't know what the heck you're doing, you're going to do research, correct? And when you do that research, now you're confident in how to build certain things. Now you know how to use your hands, and you know what tools to use, and you know research. Research builds confidence. So make sure that you know what you're doing or how you're going to do it, or else you're going to be lost in the woods with no water and no food, and you're going to die. So work on your self-esteem. Even apart from your writing, work on your self-esteem, work on yourself, work on what makes you happy, and you'll see it reflect in your work. Continuously build yourself up, step by step. Step by step. Step by very much steps, all the steps. Boom! Step by step, day by day. Thank you guys for watching The Writer's Block. Have a good day.